If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Sylacauga City Schools Superintendent Dr. John Segars joins us this morning. And Dr. Segars, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us today. Your first thoughts from the announcement on Thursday?
Well, we weren't surprised. We knew things like that might happen, and our teachers have been preparing for it. Our principals are prepared for it. So come Monday, a week from today, we're ready to go.
The word prepare and preparation, that's key here.
It is key. We work all the time making sure that we're ready for any contingency. We never really thought we would see one like this, but we do distance learning all the time, even at our lowest grade levels. And it's important that families are engaged. We know our community is engaged. Our teachers are certainly engaged, so we're ready to go.
One of the keys that you just touched on is parents. They've got to be active in this.
They do, and most parents are not ready to homeschool their children, especially at the high levels. So we're going to encourage them. We're going to give families all the tools that they need and more. And certainly we're on call 24/7 to take care of your needs. So it's going to work.
So how is it going to work? Lay it out for us how the plans are for beginning next week, as a matter of fact.
Right. We'll go back to school on Monday, the 6th of April. That's a week from today. And we will hit all the critical standards laid out by our State Department. That doesn't mean we're going to hit every standard that we would have taught the remainder of the school year. We're going to hit those critical things to get children to the next grade level and certainly get seniors to graduation. So we will do all that by electronic means. We will do that by books, by packets, whatever it takes to get those materials in the household.
So no on-campus school, in-home school. How are the students, is this going to be like a school day, or how will this work?
Well, the school day, of course, will be modified. Teachers will have office hours. Students will have requirements that have time limits on them. And the expectations will be clearly laid out so that you will know what your day looks like. We are not going to pile work on students just because they're sitting at home, but because parents have to work. There's other things that have to happen in the house. We know that. So the school day will be equivalent to what you might see in a normal school day. It's just that you're going to be given a little freedom to break it up how you want to do it, because every family is different.
Now, the kids are more adept to social media and computers than a lot of us parents are.
That's right. They have no problem with it. They can.
Even the youngest.
They can do things on those computers that we couldn't imagine 10 years ago. So all we have to do is lay it out there for them and give them some solid expectations, some timelines, help families understand it, and this work will get done.
President Trump pushed the deadline for 30 days to April the 30th yesterday. The school itself, the last day of school is scheduled to be in June, is that correct?
Well, the guidance we received from our State Department is that we will have everything complete not later than the 5th of June. That doesn't mean we can't get it finished sooner. Once we take a look at those critical standards, lay those standards out in a timeline, in theory, we could actually finish the school year by our original calendar. We'll just have to see what those standards look like and how long it's going to take us to get there. I don't intend to go all the way to the 5th of June, but we haven't established that mark on the wall yet.
You, I'm sure, were a part of the group conversation with the governor and the state school board superintendents on Friday. What was your general thoughts of what other superintendents are saying?
Well, a lot of what we heard came directly from the State Department on Friday, but I took the weekend and called other superintendents. They forwarded plans to me, how they're going to do it. We've exchanged ideas back and forth. Superintendents are positive. I mean, most of our school systems do online classwork already. I do feel sorry for those very rural communities in our state.
And there are some.
And I know some of those superintendents, and they've called me this weekend and kind of with their hands in there going, this is going to be a huge chore. But in their mind, we're going to figure out how to do it. So just like Sylacauga, we're going to figure out how to do this.
Yeah. And there's some areas locally that don't have real solid internet service and stuff like that, and that's where the packets come in. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. So the internet is not an obstacle. It's a facilitator. It's just another method of pushing instruction to students, but that can be done in all sorts of ways. Sometimes it's a phone call from a teacher with some material in front of the student, some encouragement will go a long way. And that's what our teachers are doing right now. They're contacting every family to make sure they can figure out what are our best means of communication and how are we going to do this for the next 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah. Teenagers, 17, 18 years old, that have gone from kindergarten through the 12th grade, looking forward to graduate, that's adversely affected a little bit.
It is, but I can tell you, seniors out there, we're gonna do a graduation ceremony. We're gonna figure out how to do that. We're going to try to give you everything that comes with being a senior in high school and that step forward to graduation and moving off into whatever you're going to do after graduation. We need to honor those folks. They've worked hard for 12, 13 years in our school system. We're going to figure out how to send them out on the right foot. I don't know how to do that yet, but I've got some real creative people that can figure it out, so we'll do that.
The curbside grab and go continues this week?
Every day, every weekday from 11 a.m. to noon. Pinecrest, Nichols Lawson, Burley Collins, plus we have a bus running around the Drew Court community, which serves more children than any of our other sites. So we're pretty proud of this. Kelly Wasserman, her team, they've done a great job with this. They work hard. They do it behind the scenes. Not many people see this. All they see is the meal on the curb. But we're serving an average of 270 students a day, and that's 2 meals. So we're going to continue that as long as the school year goes on.
It's amazing how much can be accomplished if you've got a group of people around you that don't care if they're recognized or not. You know?
That's right. That's right. And I can tell you, our child nutrition staff, they work in the shadows. Not many people see them, but I tell you what, they always turn out an outstanding meal. And this is a different meal. I mean, you've got to really think about how to prepare a bag breakfast, a bag lunch, get it in the hands of kids, and do that every single day. So they performed unbelievably these past few weeks, and we're going to continue that. I called Kelly yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I said, "Can you sustain this every day until the end of school?" She said, "Yeah, you bet I can," and we're going to do that. Mm-hmm. So.
With the announcements coming from Montgomery on Thursday about school would not convene on campus through the end of the school year, and that effectively concluded all the athletic season for the spring.
Yeah, sad story there. And I watched our coaches commenting on various platforms yesterday. Their hearts are broken. Mine's broken. I can remember being an athlete in high school and how important that was. And a lot of our students will move on to college and play sports, and we want to make sure that they're given that opportunity if it presents itself. And our coaches will remain engaged. I don't know if, I know we've got some plans to do some of these athletics by video. There's nothing to say you can't work out at home and continue honing your skills without the coach right there in your face. The coach can be on video, so we'll work those things.
One thing that has been kind of lost in this coronavirus epidemic is Sylacauga High School hired a new football coach.
Sure did. And he's going to have to figure this out because football season's coming at us. But he and I, we'll talk more about that on how we get football season. But also, you'll have volleyball coming up in the fall. We play basketball in the summer. The whole month of June is dedicated to basketball workouts, and we don't know if those are possible now. And some of these seasons run almost year round. So just because you're not a fall sport doesn't mean you're not getting ready for the next season. So we're going to do all those things.
Here we are, end of March, and April just a couple of days away. But I'll tell you, Dr. Segars, I have been looking, I know you guys have, hey, it'll be time for the fall school to start.
That's right.
Long.
And, that's where my focus is. We will get this school year finished. Our teachers know how to do it. Our students know how to do it. Our principals will get that done. I'm looking into next year. What are our students, how are they going to be postured when they come back to school in the fall, especially our youngest ones? So we're going to have to reassess in August and see where we are. We may have to modify next school year as well. So that's where the superintendent's staff, that's where we need to be thinking is what happens next, not what happens tomorrow. So that's where we are with our staff, and we'll get there too.
Speak to parents and grandparents of students that are at home. They're trying to keep the balls balanced in the air. They're trying to work. They're trying to take care of their kids. They're trying to do errands, and life goes on, but it's a doggone challenging time for them.
It is, and I'll tell you, those of you at home, God bless you. It's I know it's tough. We will do everything we can to support what you need. You just call us. You email us. Whatever you do. Our central office will be open every day. I told our administrators that from 8 to 4 every day you will have an administrator in the building to answer those questions, to get a hold of a teacher, to get a hold of a counselor, whatever you need. We're going to make sure you have it. Now, that doesn't mean I get to turn on internet access at your house. That's a tougher problem than we can deal with right now, but we will get materials in your hand. And if we have to sit there on the phone and talk you through how to do it as a parent, now parent becomes teacher, and teacher gets a coach. So we'll help you through those things and make sure that your child has every opportunity to excel.
As a superintendent of Sylacauga City School System, I don't know, how many kids total in the system?
2,000, right at 2,000.
You know, that's 2,000 different individuals. And have you been able to talk to some of them and get their feel? Do they understand the gravity of this and the
I think it's sinking in. We see 270 students on average a day at meals. We see others around. Some students are still working in our restaurants and some of our service providers. So I see those students around town, and a lot of them have texted me and emailed me just to ask questions. And it's questions like, what about prom? What about graduation? What about this? Can I get in my locker? And and those are all things that we're working on to make sure that they have access to and that they have a plan for. So I'm engaged with them, and I want them to call me. That's what we need, is for their input to make sure that we give them what they need.
How long have you been in education?
This is 10 years for me.
Is this challenge one that you never thought could happen?
I won't say I never thought it could happen. My previous career, I did work on things like this for the military, where we looked at things like border security, pandemic. How does that affect national security? So it wasn't unimaginable for me. But in the education world, you never think through exactly how this would look if you have to close down a school. And we've had to do it at other schools for weather events. Short term, but still it's the same planning process you go through. And I'll tell our staff today as I meet with our directors collectively for the first time in a couple of weeks, is the standards don't change. Our strategic plan's still intact. We will continue doing business like we do business. We won't have a full staff there every day. Teachers won't be in the classroom every day, but we have the ability to talk to people, and we can reach out and talk to anybody at a moment's notice. So we will do that in our staffs, and we will do that for our students and families. So I don't want to say we're looking forward to this, but it gives you just another challenge. Can we pull this off? And we'll rewrite the book on how you do distance learning in public schools. And
you got to be sensitive, I'm sure, to the needs of your staff. They got families. They've got. This is all new to them as well.
That's right. And we gave our staff some time off this past week and the week before. So they've had 9 or 10 days there to kind of get their families together. And I told them, I said, take that time and come back ready to work.
Yeah.
But you've got to go home and figure out your life too, and we don't brush that aside, because everybody has a family or somebody who depends on them to do something. So we're all working through it right now.
This is not a Democratic or Republican issue. This is an us issue, and we got to face it. I appreciate you coming this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dr. John Segars, the Superintendent of Sylacauga City Board of Education, our guest this morning. We've got more after this.